one. Hi, people. I need some noise. Don't make noise. I can't move on. Hi, people. Did we have a heavy lunch? Okay, so let's pack up and let's listen to the power of us. The power of us. Community building through youth collaboration. So I need you to participate, and I want, when I talk, there will be responses, so that I can understand and know that we are following. We are all on the same page. Is that okay? Is that okay? Okay. So what do we think, or what is our expectation from this session? Community building through youth collaboration. Can anyone tell me what collaboration is? Collaboration. There's no right or wrong answer. What do you think collaboration is? Working together, collaboration. And community building or community development, anyone? Community development. Community development simply means building up our community. How do we build our community up? By working together. And the only way to do that is to unleash the power of us. The power of us. So when we are talking about community development, we're not looking at individuals. In this context, there can be individuals who stand out to do great things, like Elon Musk and other great people that we know that have stood on their way to be able to do great things. But right now we're looking at all of us coming together to do something good and something tangible. So I brought with me this. Who knows what this is? It's a broom. Yes, this is the broom we use in Africa. So a lot of us don't know what this is, because this is not the broom that we typically use here. But on its own, can this one single broomstick sweep this room? Can these two broomsticks maybe attempt to sweep this room? But when they all stand together, and they are able to do what? To sweep the room clean. And that's the same thing as collaborating and coming together as a team and coming together as one to be able to do something. So what's the goal of this broom? The goal of this broom is to sweep this room. But on its own, it can't do it on its own. It has to come together with a team. And that's how the room gets swept clean. So I move on because we're going to have a small group assignment at the end of this. So essentially we define what community development is. And community development is about people coming together, like she said, coming together. Something, if we're in school and we see someone is constantly being bullied, what do? We just say, that's their business, I don't want to be involved. Or do we stand up and say, I'll go and talk to the teacher about this? That is how we build communities. That's how we stand for what is good. So it can involve physical changes. That's to make a place look or feel better. Like, we can all come together to paint this room. We say, oh, our summer project is to paint room A in the library. Get a cleaner car park down the streets and all that. So we can all come together. On your own, one person can paint this room. For how long will it take that person? Can take the person months, can take the person several days. But if we all come together, or we all came together to paint this room, we might be able to do it in 1 day, or we might be able to do it in 2 days max. That's because we have more hands, we have more ideas, we have more strength. And that's the power of us coming together. And community development can also involve social change. That's strengthening how people connect and support each other. Like I've used this bullying as an example. You're supporting someone in school who is constantly being, oh, get away, retard, oh, go and sit down somewhere. And that person has a very low self-esteem. You seeing that, you know that this is not right. I can stand up for that person in my community and build that social change. So it's not about just painting walls or painting streets or doing art. what is the goal? I need to make my community positive. I need to make it better. So that's it. The underline says it's not just about places, it's about people working together so that everyone feels safe, they feel included, and they are proud of where they live. I don't know how our connections are or who we are to each other. Some of us might be neighbors, some of us might be siblings, some of us might be living on the same street. That's the power that you have when you have people that you can connect with on a positive note. So it's not just standing in isolation like this one group. Okay, so what happens when young people unite for change? Okay, so I want us to take it in turns. I'm not just here to talk. If you read the first one, explain what you think you get from it. What happens when young people unite for change? Anyone wants to take the first one? Yes? Can you let me know your name? My name is Chioma again.
My name is Melody.
Melody, yes, nice to meet you. Yes.
He said, we bring fresh ideas.
We bring fresh ideas. When young people unite for change, you people are the Gen Zs of this world. They are the ideas that we need. The ideas that are going to space, the ideas that are operating laptops and things that I didn't have in my own time. So when you come together, you bring in that collaboration, that room, that dynamic force, and bring in that brain, that we all need. So Melody says we bring fresh ideas. What do you understand by that?
So, different people have different experience and different ideas. So when people come together to talk about something, they have different ideas. Some are creative, some are new, some people never even thought of.
Exactly. I don't know if people clap in this class. It's so quiet. So if someone speaks, please let's clap for the person. Let's clap. Yeah, so she said we bring different ideas. Because what Melody knows is different from what Chioma knows, is different from what Chanel knows, is different from what someone who lives in China would know, is different from what somebody who lives in the US would know. When you all find yourself in the same community, your community could be on a WhatsApp group, it could be on Snapchat. So Snapchat is not just for taking pictures and uploading my meal and things like that, or filters and all that. You can use those tools as a community to build change. And somebody that is from somewhere else can tell you, oh, this is how we do it in Nigeria. In my streets, on my street, this is what we do. So because you're all different, you all have different experiences, you are able to share different ideas. Okay, so young people bring fresh ideas. Not that old people don't bring fresh ideas, but young people, they bring the new kind of ideas that are buzzing on the streets. Okay, what happens when young people unite for change? Anyone wants to take the second one and explain? What happens when young people unite for change? Okay, I'll take that. We connect and network. So we just spoke about knowing people from different backgrounds, having people from all over the world. You could be living on a street, or sharing ideas across platforms. So that's what happens when young people unite. They also make change happen. Young people, when they bring their new ideas, they make change happen. So you can say, oh, this summer, we're not just going to spend time doing XYZ. We can spend time doing ABC. Why don't we all just come together? Who is interested in doing A? Oh, our goal is to do B. It makes change happen. And you're able to see that at the end of the summer, you spend 3 months, and you can show that this is the work that I did in 3 months. We just didn't spend the 3 months not knowing what to do, but you have a goal and you have a mission to make a change. And it's something that you can just say, oh, I was here, and scribble on it, and people say, this was your work for 3 months. Again, we draw on each other's strengths. So like Melody said, some people are creative, some people know how to do digital platforms, some people know how to send messages, some people actually know how to do the actual work. So when we come together as us, we bring our different ideas. So you bring your drawing, you bring your laptop, you bring your whatever you can bring to the table, and build on each other's strengths, and together we achieve more. Just like I said about the broom, because it's together, it can sweep more. It can sweep better than, I don't even think one broomstick can sweep this room. But when you have a whole, then together you achieve more. Okay, the power of us. So we go on. It's not just about me or about you. It's about us. So why does this matter? So it's almost like bouncing off what we said before. It's a shared vision. It's a shared vision in the sense that when everyone on the team understands and believes in the goal, that's the why that keeps them going. So everyone needs to understand, why are we doing this? What do we want to do? What's our task? It's a shared vision. So when you form groups, sometimes you form groups, you have a leader to make it easier to organize. Not that because that's the smartest person. Maybe that's the person that is good with WhatsApp groups, or someone that is good with keeping time, or someone that is good with prompting others to say, oh, it's time for meeting. So we have a shared vision and say, what do we want to agree on to do? And it's all about us. It's not about what I think, okay, so I'm in this group. Because you've made me the group leader, I think we should do this because I say so. No. It's about everyone coming together to build on each other's strengths and say, okay, what do we think we can do? Again, it's collective action, doing it together. You know? Doing it together. So, sorry. So no one person can change a community alone. As a partner in social service work who can come and talk about doing, you're trying to get things, find out a dealer who can give you things for free, or things like that. Just find out who you can lean on in the community. You must not do everything yourself. Sometimes you get donations and things that can help you to move to the next level. And celebrate and reflect. Always celebrate, no matter how little you have achieved. It's always good to say, oh, yes, we did this. We did this, not I did this. We did this. Because when you consider a football team playing, 11 people are playing, one person scores the goal, but they all say we won. It doesn't say, because I scored the goal, so I won. No. It's a team effort. The glory and the joy and everything belongs to the whole team. So that is the power of us. And again, you have to also know that there will be disagreements. So it's not all smooth sailing. Because I formed a group, everything is all nice and perfect and all that. You will disagree. So you will say, why should she be the leader? Is it because she's the one that is always talking too much? She knows everything. No. You know? No, they didn't pick me, so I'm not going to be interested. I'll just be there. I'll just be quiet in their group chats. Anything they say, I'm not even answering. No, that's not the attitude. You bring out yourself, you bring out your A game, and you cooperate so that the group can take the glory in the end. Not because he's a Victor Seaman and he's always scoring goals, so I will not pass the ball to him. All of you will lose at the end of the day. But when you do it as us, the whole 11 players will take the glory. Listen and compromise. There will always be disagreements. So learn how to listen to each other. Learn how to compromise. Oh, this meeting is at 4 o'clock. I can't come. Oh, can you send me the notes after? Is there anything I'm supposed to do even if I wasn't in the meeting? What do you need? Do you always find out where you can put out your best self? And you know, in this life, your best self will always show. Even when nobody's looking. Somehow, somewhere, somebody will just remember you, even if it's a teacher. You say, that girl, she was always giving her best self. So if you're looking for somebody to do this, somewhere, somebody will always give out your best self. Don't even think, oh, because nobody's looking, there's no point for me to, even if you're only 5 in that group, give your best self. Also keep it at a balance, so that it's not like, oh, I'm always taking the lead in things. Even if I take the lead in things, I'll ask the next person, let us playing 11 man. It's not the whole 11 that will score the goal. It's one person, but it's a group effort. So we exist because of one person. We won't say because one person is shining. That's why we have strikers, we have midfield, we have defense. All of them cannot play front. Everyone is doing their own bit. So if I say I will not pass the ball to you, whose problem is that? The whole team will lose. So it's a foundation for resilience. So I will not take something except my sister has got it. I will not do, except in Nigeria we say it's all of us. It takes a village. We all work together to make sure that we meet that one common goal. So Ubuntu means we rise together. I am because we are. I am because we are. I am one person because all of us are. All of us stand together to do this work together. So cheering on your teammates to success because they win, we will all win. Some people are even on the football field. They don't even get to play. They're on the bench. And when they give the medals for gold or whatever, they will join. They will line up. It won't just be the 11th on the field. It will be plus the cheerleaders, plus those that were on the bench. That is the whole team of who we are. So together, we're stronger. Do we agree? And I want to hear your voices. Together, we are stronger. Don't nod, no. I've not been nodding since I've been talking. So let's talk. Together, we are stronger. Do we agree?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Together, we have a voice.
Yes.
This voice is so small. Together, we are stronger. I will keep going back to the beginning if you don't answer. Together, we are stronger.
Yes.
Together, we have a voice.
Yes.
And you have ideas that are worth sharing.
Yes.
Your ideas matter. Together we can make a real change.
Yes.
Change starts with working together.
Yes.
And youth collaboration is a powerful tool for building communities. Do we agree?
Yes.
Do we agree?
Yes.
Yes. If we don't agree, we'll start again. Should I start again? No. Any questions? Any questions about how to collaborate, how to share ideas, how to be in a group, how to be a lead, how to be a follower, how to make things work, how to make change? Any ideas? Okay. I have an idea for you. Thank you. And we're going to put ourselves into groups. We're going to have a little group activity. Let's see how we can come up with projects and build ideas. Quickly. So from my front, we take number, if you take number one, how many are we? So we take, I think we'll have just 3 groups. So on your writing material, we're already in groups. So discuss and choose one thing. You see that I started with discuss. Discuss means that when you're in a group, you're talking to yourself. So I don't expect somebody to just choose one thing, because that's not the power of us. The power of us means all of us are choosing one thing. So discuss and choose one thing that you could be better, that could be better in your community or school. Did we get that? Discuss and choose one thing that could be better in your community or school. Write the one thing on your community wall, on your big notebook. When you have discussed, write it. One thing that you think could be better in your community or school. Write it on your community wall. That's the one thing that you have agreed on. Discuss is the key word there, because it belongs to all of you. It's everybody's idea, not one person just say, I think this is what we should do. No. So break that down into, we talked about goals. The one thing, what is our goal? What are we trying to achieve? What are we trying to achieve? What is our goal? Who is involved? What resources do we need? We talked about going to ask people for resources, ask people for help. Do I need volunteers? Do I need people to give us money? What do we need to achieve this goal? And then finally, let us have your final step on how you are going to execute this goal. I hope it's not too much.
We could focus communities. We could do issues with homelessness and overfilled shelters within the community, and talk about how to. Yeah, but then it's not just as simple as that, because a lot of there's space, and then there's still too much people funding. So like looking at a way to like diminish or lessen one of those issues.
It goes back to the Five minutes, so that you now take 1 minute and present what you have come up with.
What's the rule for picking like why do pick why do they think it's better for students to have after school club that they can help them with assignments?
So what happens for people so we're trying to focus on power. Alright, and then we're how do we want to just solve the issue?
Well, actually said she
Like,
And we talked about fixing that.
yeah, I know. Wait, are you supposed to like,
It's a lot about like the separation of community types. Like for example, mixed land use is something that's like super important. But a big thing that Canada like does a lot is we focus on like low density suburbia, which like basically focuses on like I don't know low density suburban area, but whatever. That's beside the point because I didn't build it. But like houses, like it's an area of just like housing where like one family is living in like this like house with a lot of bedrooms that takes up a lot of space. So instead of building up, we're building out, and then that's separated from like the like areas for shopping, and that's separated for like areas for like government buildings and all that stuff. So like if you like merge that and mixed land use, then you did a lot better with all that. But okay, yeah, but we have to get like that's like kind of straight up.
You guys don't know check here.
So like how we get
Who's your speaker?
help this.
She speaks French.
Yeah.
Because there's no translator.
What about the plan small?
On! Take the microphone right there. Chidera is there. Take the mic. We want to hear you project your voice. No, we can't hear you.
I chose sports and taxes. We chose sports fees because some parents aren't able to pay their kids sports fees before they play games, and we need more financial help for the parents, like buy now, pay later, and other stuff like that. And yeah.
But what was your objective? I hear sports fees. And the objective is because some parents cannot afford to pay sports fees. So that's the objective. So that's your goal. So how do we want to do this? Who are the partners you are going to invite? Who do we talk to tell them, please, these people cannot pay sports fees? The school administrators. So So did we decide how we want to approach the school administrators? Are we going to write them a letter? Are we going to knock on their door and tell them, please just help 50 students this term, blah, blah, blah. You're already on track. Go ahead. You can ask your team members. Anyone wants to speak, they can join you on the floor.
Write a letter.
Write a letter to the school explaining it. Please, let's clap for them. So, they're just starting the ideas building. And I like that they use something that is intangible. Because most times when we think of community development, we think of carrying the road or painting a school or things that we can see. They have chosen something that we cannot see. It's intangible. Just like I use bullying as an example. Nobody can see that his child is being bullied because it's not a structure. But they are appealing on advocating for children to remain in sports, even though their parents cannot afford it. Thank you for that. Did you need one more than one person? Even the whole group said
Okay, so the issue that we decided to talk about today was poverty in our communities. And this is an issue that goes on even further than just our communities and to honestly the entirety of Canada and other parts of the world. But the only way to solve big issues is starting with your community and locally. So,
Okay,
yeah.
so for housing, like the housing crisis is actually still here, even though some people still don't talk about it. But tell me why in Paris you can get a house near the Eiffel Tower for $1 million, and then over here, just a small 2-bedroom house downtown is $2 million. So, like, the U.S., like, cheapest state is Mississippi, and average Canadian make that much wages. Like, our wages are Mississippians' wages, and then our expenses are like California expenses. So we have a lower wage and we're paying higher prices. And the housing crisis, it's a really big thing to tackle. But one thing that's not too big, but it looks big, is food.
Yeah, so just connecting like the housing crisis, like back to the poverty thing, like people in this current day and age, they don't have the means to afford even living, so the ability to house. There's countless people in Ottawa, especially in like the downtown areas, who are like in poverty or homeless or living on the streets, and shelters are like overcrowded. So the housing issue like even adds on to that. We're adding like a new layer and like demonstrating the issues with that sector. And then there's also issues with like food and like the price of like food. A lot of big companies that aren't even Canadian come into Canada and they just try to monopolize and kind of just like take over. And they keep on creating more stores and more stores, and they're not leaving any room for small Canadian-owned stores to take place. And as they do this, they increase their prices as well. And they basically just make things a lot more unaffordable. And with the issues that are going on in the world, this only adds on. So people can't not only just like can't afford housing, they can't afford food. So that's like, yeah.
Okay, so now this is what we're gonna do. So like companies, you don't know, companies like Costco, they actually have a lot of smaller businesses under them. So it's easier for them to collectively increase their prices. Than if it was like, for example, US, where not one company reigns supreme, where they're all fighting. It's better if companies are fighting, like if one company, or like just like 4 companies, like has just like control of the whole market, because it's not easier to raise your prices like that. So we should start like protesting, for example, against companies like Costco, Metro owns a lot of other ones.
Like big brands and all that stuff, and basically
Big
just
brands.
going to our community, asking for support and going to protest, sending letters, talking to our MPs and PPs and trying to create a difference.
Songs are taking us to the world stage.
Wow. Nice.
These are things I want to take from them. So you want to do social service work. So community can be on the one stage, it can be at the school stage, wherever you see that people, there's a need, there's a gap, is your community. So we're not saying because you talked about your school, that means your program is, or project is so small, and they're talking about America, US, France, Paris, which country do you not mention? Mention everywhere. Does not mean that, oh, because they're operating big. Because sometimes bigger means more work.
Yeah.
Bigger means more work. And we talked about small wins. How are we going to get those small wins in? We're talking about US, and Loblaws, and Metro, and this. Where do we start from? It's not a bad idea. And it's good because these are problems that are looking at us in the community. People are hungry. The shelters are full. There's no food. Food banks are overcrowded. A lot of this support is even being drawn back by the government because the government can't even afford to continue to sustain such. So, good thinking, but you have to also think, in this kind of thing, where do I put my foot in? This is very big. Start small. Small wins always. So, good thinking. Group 3.
So our issue is about helping the students who are failing in class. So we decided about having a homework club to help those students. When you're failing, you can go anywhere. So the goal of the club is to help students who get good grades and have a better understanding of what they're learning in the class.
So, the people that are going to be involved in the homework club are students. Then we need some teachers who are going to help the club to maintain it. Some like university or college student that can come to the group, to the club sometimes to teach one or a few things to the students. And we need sponsors as well as mentorship from parents. The resources we need.
So for the resources we need sponsors to help us like getting books, like pens, textbooks, tables and chairs, or a class or where we can do like helping the students. How we're gonna execute our goal? We're gonna tell.
Are we listening?
We're going to tell the principals or the school boards to help us or assisting us with like getting donations.
And we're going to ask for we're going to raise funds to help promote the club, and we're going to tell students and encourage them to come so they can have good grades. Thank you.
Yes, so the purpose of their group, if I understand what they said, is to help people to have good grades. So they are targeting those kids that are not really doing well in class and telling them that there's a support group for you. And they've also told us how they are going to do that by getting volunteers. We had them saying they will get teachers to volunteer, they will get university students to come in to put in some extra time to volunteer. So everything must not be dollar and cents. You can also get free will donations. People will donate their time to come and help students. And they told us how they're going to do it. They will write to the principal and telling them that please, we need help for these children that are struggling. And I think it's a very good idea because, like you said, if they're failing, they're not going anywhere. Thank you, everyone. You guys did very great. And it's good to know that we can think on our feet. You see why we said the young ones bring, it's not like me, I don't have idea of as one, but the young ones bring us ideas, even if the ideas are coming from the US and from France, or they're coming locally, the young ones will always give us the ideas that we need. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.